Hello, Merrick-Moore fifth graders. Welcome back to Merrick-Moore News. This week on Talk It Out Tuesday, we're going to talk about the deets on our peeps, identifying cause and effect relationships in writing. I'm going to teach you how to change the levels of reading in News ELA, which is where I get a lot of my articles. And then I'm going to tell you what your assignment is for the week. First, to celebrate all of you: Ariana, Noah, Anaya, Raimi, Cornelius, Katori, Amaya, and Ayana. You have been doing amazing work in Google Classroom. What's so impressive about what you're doing is that you're taking risks, right? You're willing to try those things that are hard for you, things that maybe aren't of your interest, but you want to learn. You're getting ready for sixth grade, and you're not backing down from the challenge, and we're so proud of you. So we're celebrating you. We want to remind you to use Lexia and Study Island. When you can't be with us, they're really great independent tools for you to be using at home and to get feedback right away. So keep up that good work you've been doing in Lexia and Study Island, and we'll be checking in on you so we can celebrate you here. On to cause and effect. The reason cause and effect is so important to understand in writing is because science writing and social studies writing is largely done through explaining the cause of something and the effect of something. Every day you wonder, why is that happening? Or what is the effect of me eating too much and having dessert before dinner? Why won't my parents let me do that? It all goes back to cause and effect relationships. You're getting into studying the body systems now in fifth grade, and you're going to learn a lot about the interaction between them and how one system can affect another system, and how we take care of our bodies because we don't want negative effects to occur. When we think about our social studies reading and learning this year, we learned about the civil rights movement. Think about the Greensboro sit-in. What was the cause of those young boys going to that store and sitting at that counter? And then what was the effect of that? When you read in social studies, that's the kind of idea that you're looking for. What's the cause here? What are the effects? So I was out hiking the other day, and I came upon this bird's nest. So I had to take a picture of it because it is gorgeous. It's huge. And I looked at it and thought, how did that get on the ground? I looked up and I remembered there was a terrible storm the night before. As a result of the terrible storm that shook the trees, the bird's nest fell to the ground. That's a cause and effect relationship in my everyday life. Then I went on another hike. I hike a lot. And I found a stream bed. And along that stream bed, you can see these animal footprints, which isn't so unusual in itself. What's unusual about it is the number of footprints in the sand. And so what I know is that fewer people are outside, so animals are safer to explore. Since we're not around, we don't pose a threat to them, and they're coming out. I want you to think about the language I use to just describe cause and effect. Since people are not out, animals are safe to explore. Because there was a storm, the wind shook the trees, and the bird's nest fell to the ground. So there are signal words that we see in cause and effect. Generally, but not always, writers will use words like because, as a result, since, therefore, and consequently. Consequently is a big word. Take a look at the first sentence. When water boils, the molecules move quickly. Therefore, the water heats quickly. What's the cause and what's the effect? When water boils, the molecules move quickly. Therefore, the water heats quickly. Well, when we want the water to get warm, we heat it up. It makes the molecules move, and heat happens quickly. The moon has a gravitational pull. Consequently, oceans have tides. So what the writer's telling us here is, because of the moon's gravitational pull, the ocean waves have tides to them. There's high tide and there's low tide. There's the cause and the effect. Tectonic plates shift. As a result, earthquakes and tsunamis occur. The tectonic plates shifting causes the earthquakes and tsunamis to occur. That's what "as a result" is trying to explain to you. So as readers, we have to slow our thinking down and understand what is the cause and what is the effect the writer is trying to explain to us here. And sometimes in our reading, again, the writer will give us these signal words. Other times they won't. Our last example. Laws were changed when people protested because of equal rights, because of unequal rights. So what made people protest and change the laws? There were unequal rights. How did those laws get changed? People protested. In our minds, we're asking ourselves, what is the writer trying to explain to me here? What is the big idea? Again, in this case, we're talking about causes of things and the effects of them. So this week for your assignment, and this is just us revving up our minds, getting ready to tackle cause and effect text. This week, we're just going to focus on sentences as ideas. So for your assignment, you're going to identify the cause and effect of sentences that you see in Google Classroom. The second part, pay attention to what you do and observe during the day, just like I did. And you're going to use those signal words that I showed you to write your own cause and effect sentences. We're taking it slow because this kind of thinking when you're reading can be pretty tricky. So, the next part of our lesson is about Google Classroom and the news ELA articles that I've been giving you to read. You can change the level of difficulty in reading them, and I'm going to teach you how to do that before we end here today. So the ideas that we've been learning about are really big ideas, and the text that you're reading is complicated. What I want to show you today is how to make that easier. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a number. That is the highest level of this article. You can change that level by clicking on the box, and you'll see the drop-down menu. You can choose one of those lower numbers to get an article that's just right for you, so that the language isn't as complicated. Go ahead and click on that and start your reading. So it's just that easy to change the articles to make them easier for you to read. If you struggle with it, it's fine. Call a teacher and we'll help you out with it. We want you to be able to read this information and explore when you're ready to. Until next week, friends, on Talk It Out Tuesday. Bye.